Hi, welcome to Father of Games. So with Burncycle back on Kickstarter, I wanted to go over one of the expansions for the game, just to go over what it is, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and ultimately determine if it's something you would like. So, first off, what is the Brassmag miniature expansion for Burncycle? Well, basically, it's a cosmetic upgrade for Burncycle that comes with 10 different metal miniatures representing each of the 10 agents in Burncycle, as well as 4 different metal miniatures for the 4 expansion characters for the specialist expansion. It also comes with 8 generic miniatures for the guards. So all of these miniatures have magnets on the bottom, and they're going to attach to the corresponding chips, and they're going to move across the board on those chips, making the board look better, or making the game look better, and making it easier to see where the guards are and where your characters are. So that's what it is, and all those miniatures are found in a plastic insert with the names of each character beside it. So, first off, what don't I like about it? Well, the first thing is this plastic tray that the miniatures are held in. It's great that they had it. They definitely needed a tray since there's magnets on all the bottom of these, that if they didn't have one, it would just look like a transformer in here. All the miniatures would be jumbled together, and you'd be digging through them to find which one you need. So they definitely needed some sort of insert, and I'm glad they have one. The fact that they have the names on it is great, but they're very, very hard to take out. For instance, they're very strong miniatures, and it feels like they're gonna break after a while. Even though they're so strong, especially the guards. The only way really to get those out is to flip it over and pop them out through the bottom. Even that is difficult to do. As you can see, though, the little ones do fall out easier. But that's one thing I don't like. The guards are very difficult to take out. I actually, if I'm playing multiple games of this, I'm gonna just leave them out on chips, out to the side, so I don't have to keep taking them out and putting them back in. So that's something I really didn't like about it. Some people might not care too much, but that is something I definitely didn't really like. Another thing is the obvious one is the price. So Burncycle is already a very expensive game. It's a great game, it's good quality stuff, but it's very expensive. This is just a cosmetic upgrade, so it doesn't add any gameplay changes. It just is for looks. And it's about half the price of the game that is already an expensive game. So it's good quality stuff. It feels like the price is worth it, but it is very, very expensive. So that is definitely a negative that a lot of people would probably find with this, and probably the main reason people won't be getting this expansion. Another negative, the sculpts on all the guards are the same. So that's good in some ways because you can see where the enemies are. You instantly know when you see that sculpt that that's an enemy. You don't have to kind of take a second to figure out what kind of miniature. Oh, what one is that one? That you see it, it's a guard right away. That's great. But I wish there were different ones for the levels of guards. So to know that color, one color is a level 1 guard, a different color for a level 2 guard, and so forth for a level 3 guard, or whatever the case. I wish there was some sort of differentiating, to differentiate between the different levels of guards instead of just having the same 8 sculpts for all the guards. Not a huge deal. That's just maybe something that I didn't really like, but either way, something I didn't really like. And another negative. So in Burncycle, it's very uncommon that you're going to have more than one chip moving across the board, which makes the idea of the chips not as good as in there are other games like Cloudspire, Too Many Bones. You're going to have a stack of chips, which has the feel like you're playing poker or whatever, the feel that chips are supposed to have, and it kind of the reason that the chips work so well in these games. In Burncycle, it doesn't really work as well because it's just one chip moving across the board. These fix that for sure, but when you have multiple chips stacked, like if a guard is moving a ammunition chip or whatever it's the equipment chip or anything like that, then it's a lot harder to move them because you have to go around the guard because the magnet's not strong enough to pick up both chips, so you're going to have to try to hold it and balance the guard on the chip to move it. Not a huge deal, but it's just a little bit harder than it was without them. So that is, as far as negatives, that is all the negatives I can think of for this. But let's move on to positives because there is a lot of positives to this. So first thing, I love that they had sculpts for all these specialist characters. I don't actually have the expansion at the moment, but I will be getting it, and then I don't have to go out and buy another small pack of miniatures for that, which is something I kind of thought they would do, have it a separate pack, because it's kind of what they did for Cloudspire and for Too Many Bones. They have these small kind of, as they come out with more expansions, they have small things that you can add to it. Upgrades that they know people are going to buy kind of thing, so they put them out that way. They included everything in the same box for this. I thought that was great. It's all all the characters are in this, and I thought that was really good. Another thing, it is expensive, but the quality of the miniatures is there. They're super heavy duty. They don't feel like they're going to break, other than after a while taking them out of this insert that isn't very good. But the quality of the miniatures, they're very unique. Not many games have actual metal miniatures, so I thought that was really cool that they, instead of using plastic, that they did that. So the quality is definitely there, and it looks so good on the table. It's already a really good looking game because the quality of everything they use is amazing. They have neoprene everything, and then these weighted chips. With these miniatures on there, it looks even better. So it just ups the level of how the game looks, which is obviously what it's supposed to do. But it was really well done with that. Like, it looks so good on the table. So this expansion just ups the level of how good this game looks. So definitely great with that. Another thing I liked about this is the magnets themselves. So they are the perfect strength kind of thing. So it won't pick up other chips beside them. It's not strong enough to pick up like chips beside it, or other miniatures beside them or whatever. It's just strong enough to lift the chip off the ground, and you can flip the chip over without taking off the magnet if you need to as well. Sometimes you need to flip the chips. You don't actually even have to take it off. It's just strong enough to let the chip kind of flip over. It's just the perfect strength of that, and it's just a brilliant idea as far as I'm concerned. So that is another positive I had with that. Another positive, I thought it was cool that there was different colors for the agents and for the guards. There's a slightly darker brass on the guards as to the agents. I thought that was really cool to differentiate. I mean, you can obviously already tell which is which, but then they do that to make it even just better looking, how they're different colors for the guards compared to the agents. So I thought that was really good as well. Another thing, I liked that there was the writing on the insert. The insert I didn't like, but the writing on it I did, because I mean it's super hard to figure out which one goes where. I kind of wish they had the picture like on to show where each one goes, like Tainted Grail or like any Awakened Realms game kind of does now. I wish they had that to make it even better, but they have the names written on it, which I thought was really, really cool as well. So it's another thing I really like. So those are my positives and negatives for this expansion. Is it something you need? Well, definitely not. It's a cosmetic upgrade. It's not going to be something you need, but is it something I recommend? I would say yes, because Burncycle is already such an expensive game. If you're the type of person to buy a game like Burncycle, then you're probably the type of person who would want to upgrade a game like Burncycle. So, it is expensive. Most people would think it's a ridiculous price for something that doesn't even add any gameplay changes to the game. But again, if you're the type of person who's going to be extreme enough to buy a game like Burncycle, pay over $200 Canadian for a game, then you're probably going to pay half of that for an expansion that doesn't really add anything except the looks of the game. So that's my thoughts on the Brassmag miniatures. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more content on Burncycle.